You're listening to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast.
This makes my nipples hard.
Hey there, and thanks for tuning in. Today, Paul and I are going to chat about something that I've wanted to talk about on an episode for a really long time, and Paul agreed to it a really long time ago, and he fought the idea right up until about 5 minutes ago. But here we are. We are going to talk about our favorite music in adventure games. And I thought you might like it, Paul, because I heard you're kind of a music guy.
Hi there, hello. Yes, it is. It was really overwhelming. Every time the thought of doing this episode came up, I just felt immediately overwhelmed with the just all the songs and all the scores and theme songs and during the game songs and it's like as soon as you pose the question, we have a music episode, I feel like I just immediately forgot everything that I ever heard about game music, but it's okay. Then we did some breathing techniques, and Anna's all, look, we'll open it up. It doesn't have to be, it can be themes, it can be the whole soundtrack, it can be one track in the score. Like we'll just keep this wide open. We're not gonna necessarily rank anything. What we've basically done is Anna and I have put together our 7 most notable or favorite or whatever musical moments in a game. So I can't speak for Anna, but some of these will be like the entire soundtrack. Some of them will just be maybe the theme or whatever. And we're going to play you guys the clips. We'll probably do somewhere around 30-second clips, somewhere that fits in that fair trade, fair use, whatever, fair usage time limit. And that way you guys can actually, hear the music too if you're not already familiar with it.
That's it. So I'm going to jump in here right away with a song that has been stuck in my head since the 1990s. So it's about time I put it in your head. And wait, you'll say, hey, Anna, actually, this has been stuck in our heads too since 1990. We just got it out. Thanks a lot for putting it back in. That's okay. I don't mind that. So the song I'm going to play right now is from the Quest for Glory 4 soundtrack by Aubrey Hodges, but the original version from the game, not the remake, and that is the track called The Leshy. Sorry for that, Paul. That probably gave you nightmares of trying to answer riddles from Quest for Glory 4. But the Leshy, as a character itself, as with all of the other characters from this game, is a character from Slavic folklore. So he's kind of he's a trickster in the spirit. Sometimes he can be helpful, sometimes not so much so. And he'll come in and give you these silly little riddles in the game, and you have to guess them. And the bushes will kind of talk. You get this little hello. And all these little sounds. It was originally done for the Roland MT, or I think the SC55 is what they put it together for, but they did the M32 enhancement. So it's really cool hearing the original MIDI cues, and then later on taking a bit to go to Aubrey Hodges' Bandcamp. I'm going to link it down below. And check out his real instrument reimagining of the soundtrack, because both of them are just absolutely delightful to listen to, the whole soundtrack. So that was my first pick. And honorable mention, quickly, sorry, before you complain about it, is shout out to Quest for Glory 5 soundtrack. It's one that I have on repeat.
Are you Trojan horsing a second Quest for Glory song into the first one?
Yes.
Man, unbelievable. I'm shocked and appalled by your choice. I don't like it. I usually love the trickster. It is my absolute favorite archetype. But
Loki.
the Lechy is the most punchable character in adventure games.
One and one make 3. But the music, it's great music.
I don't know what Jar Jar Binks is, but he's probably that. I think that's what people. I think that's why they don't like him. Okay, Well, good shout. The future me just heard the music again and was reminded of it, and he has opinions on it. But current me, I don't know. I just stayed quiet for 2 seconds while we pretended it played live, which I feel like we kind of nailed.
We
really
did great
jumped.
there.
Yeah, you really set the bar high here because you made that sound so fluid. Okay, and then so you're done?
That's my first one. Yeah.
Okay, this is good. This is a whole episode, right? We can.
Yeah.
Okay, we got this.
We
Yeah.
got this.
Totally. Okay. My next one, first, the next one is my first one. I didn't mean to make this into a riddle. I'm sorry.
It's the Leshy influence. First is second and second is first, but one is yours and one is versed.
It makes me want to just open hand slap myself in the face. My pick is the only specific song I have on my list, because I've largely gone with the entire soundtrack, but maybe I should just open it up to the whole soundtrack. I don't know. But my pick here is... Yeah, my pick here is the Gabriel Knight 1 soundtrack.
Nice.
Making adjustments on the fly. Classic us. Sorry about the door shutting. My son's really into hanging out in our closet lately, so I don't know, not metaphorically, like literally, but anyway. The Gabriel Knight 1 soundtrack. It's by Robert Holmes, first of all. It's been remade a few times. There's a really awesome, not just remastered, but re-recorded versions of it that you can get from Robert, and it's magical. Okay. So Gabriel Knight takes place in New Orleans, and I feel like that has a lot to. There's a lot of New Orleans kind of soul in the soundtrack, not in like a I don't know, obnoxious blazing brass horn sort of New Orleans way, but just in a I don't know, dusty. Like when I listen, that was a weird word to just say out. Yeah, throw out there. It's a very dusty soundtrack. No, it's Okay, so you're in St. George's Bookshop. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and play that. I'm going to play St. George's Bookshop because that is my selected piece from this soundtrack to give you guys an idea of why I have an affinity for it. Roll the tape, future me. Itself represents, like, I don't know, it feels like warm wood and slow fans and incense burning and creaky floorboards, and that's where I got dusty from earlier. That's where I was going with all that. But it feels like, I don't know, New Orleans as an interior mood as opposed to like a parade and spectacle kind of New Orleans, if that makes sense. Like New Orleans as in like the old, I don't know, the history of it, I guess you'd say, as opposed to the flair. But I really, really like that selection, St. George's Bookshop, for example, because I feel like it tells a bit of like Gabriel's story. It's almost like is foreboding the right way to put it? Because it is early in the game, and it has this, I don't know, it has this mystery to it. It's like
foreshadowing everything in it, almost just with the music at the beginning.
Thank you. Exactly. The music itself is like very cinematic, but also kind of intimate. It's, I don't know. Let me get some good descriptives. It's well, as you kind of alluded to, it's like very brooding, and it's lyrical, which is really, I'm a sucker for anything that becomes kind of lyrical, or I'm using lyrical as a way to say, I don't know, memorable. The melody sticks with you, hummable, I guess you could say.
Earworm. That's that word you didn't know.
Right. Gross.
A million episodes ago.
Such an offensive term. It's. I don't know, this St. George's Bookshop as a theme, I feel like it's prophetically and musically lays out the game or the adventure that you're about to go on. Like there's this very like playful, again, trickster like element to the music, this almost kind of whimsical moments in it that show Gabriel's, I don't know, because Gabriel's got that kind of ball breaky, says the inappropriate thing in a charming and mischievous sort of way. Like it really captures the playfulness of Gabriel, but it also captures like, impending murder and not It's like gothic without being full horror. It's like, I don't know, that one song does a lot. I feel like it captures the many moods of this game. And again, in almost like a prophetic way. So you get to feel who Gabriel is through that song. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, his whole personality, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's also very, I don't know, speaking of the entire soundtrack, it very much understands that the atmosphere is the structure. And one thing, like my favorite film score of all time is the Blade Runner soundtrack. And I adore that because it feels like a character in the film. You might even, feels like the character in a film. You could maybe even say like the narrator of the film in that it sets the scenes and sets the mood. But I think Robert does that perfectly with the Gabriel Knight soundtrack. It feels like a character in the game. It feels like it's like along on the adventure with you, setting the tone.
And it's like a whole orchestra. I mean, he hits all the different genres. It's not just like one instrument style going all the way through. Like if you're in the police station, it sounds like you're in the police station. Like it is very, very good at the situational music.
Right, exactly. Thank you. Yeah, that's articulating well my notion there that it feels like a character in the game in a sense, where it's just Yep.
Yeah, I agree. Good choice.
Thank you. All right, what's next for you?
My next is, I've chosen this song because it was my first experience in the series, and the music hit with this combination of Sierra and then all of a sudden Space Quest. So the song I'd like you to listen to for a minute is a song most of you have probably already heard, which is the main theme from Space Quest 4 by Ken Allen. So as soon as you start playing this game, automatically you're like, oh, okay, this is immediately a Sierra game. And then there's the theme. Now, I didn't know, it was Mark Siebert and Rob Aslap. Salp? How do you pronounce his name? Rob Asalp? Anyways.
I love that you think I just know that. That's
yeah,
awesome.
No, obviously you would. But they were the whole music team. But Ken Allen did the work with this reworking. But it's just taking the whole idea of Space Quest music and reworking it to make it extra nerdy. Like extra representative, because all of a sudden they can kind of work with the whole Roland MT32 soundtrack. Now, I would have only heard this on a Sound Blaster ad-lib compatible, and even then at the time it was not like anything I'd ever heard before. It's like it's kind of like a space soap opera, but it's funny. It's really bright and it's really adventurous. The whole song has this exaggeration about it that gives you an idea about the humor in the game, but you're just listening to the music. Like it'll go kind of on these minor chords sometimes, and things will almost crash out, but then they'll get grand and big again, and it's just it's really. It's the whole series to me all in one song, and the whole soundtrack for that game is pretty awesome. I like the mall, the Galaxy Galleria music's good, but we don't need to listen to all that. I mean, we've got the gist on it here, but yeah, that would be it. It's very smooth.
Well put. Two things to add on to that. One, you could check out Space Quest Historian has a Bandcamp where he's reorchestrated a lot of the Space Quest soundtracks, including.
Oh right,
4.
that was my first bloody note, and I didn't even say that. That
So
Trolls,
I got
he redid it all, and he called it Back to the Sequel, which was essentially the main theme. And he used all the original MIDI data from the game, but he reorchestrated it and used like all the newer sound patches and stuff. So definitely worth it. We'll have to link that underneath too.
And the other note I would add to this is, for anybody who doesn't know, which I don't think is a lot of you, but just for the heck of it, because we've been making this effort the last few months to be less assumptuous with, I don't know, with the things that we say. And I thought it was going to be like a grander follow-up sentence, but it was just a lot of but yeah, trying to be a little less assumptuous, a little less accidentally gatekeepy surrounding terminology and things like that. So since it's probably going to come up a few more times in this episode, I just want to say that the MT32 is essentially, let's just call it a sound box, because it's a box and it makes sound, so that checks out. It was made by Roland, and back in the day, like in specifically these days, late 80s and things like that, before the MT32 came along and really revolutionized music in computing, I guess you could say, we pretty much just had the iconic bleep bloop PC speaker sound. So everything was really limited to, like, 3 voices, something like that. I mean, it was really, most of you guys know, it was very bleep bloopy. And the MT32 came along and offered like this suite of digital instruments that composers could write for, still in MIDI, and it could read the MIDI and play, a pretty convincing sounding upright bass or brass horn section or cello and things like this. And I mean, even to this day, it sounds really good.
Like orchestra in a box.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds phenomenal. It definitely has a synthy overtone to everything, but that's only, I don't know, that's only come back more into favor in
like
modern
the King's
times.
Quest IV soundtrack is really interesting on Roland too. It's beautiful. I never had that growing up as a kid, so it was quite a shock to hear how different it was.
Oh, it is so cool. If y'all were interested and haven't done it before, there's some videos on YouTube where they kind of kick the MT32 on in the middle of playing through the magic of editing, let's say, and it's insane. It's a completely different world. I would almost equate it to, I don't know, that scene in Pleasantville when it all becomes color. It's kind of like that. It's like seeing in black and white, and then you turn the MT32 on, and just this world of colors opens up to you. So yeah, MT32 was a big deal, remains a big deal. It's all emulated nowadays, because if you were to buy an actual MT32, they're quite up there. But yeah, that's that. So great, fantastic. Okay, my second choice is Thimbleweed Park, the entire soundtrack.
You do find a way to bring that up as much as I'm able to bring up Quest for Glory. And there's 5 Quest for Glory games and only 1 Thimbleweed Park game, just so you know.
That's fair. Yeah, I know. Thimbleweed Park is getting mentioned almost as much as Phantom Fellows, and that's not good.
Somebody compared them. Somebody said it was one of his favorites in comparison to Thimbleweed Park, the Phantom Fellows.
That's right. You sent that to me that morning. That still remains one of my favorite compliments ever. Being like, it's the best game since Thimbleweed Park, because it's like that was my hero that I was looking up to, and to be in the same sentence was so cool. Okay, so the Thimbleweed Sound Park. I really want to say Sound Park, so I did twice, and now I'll say soundtrack because that's the right words.
Good job.
Thank you. Is by Stephen Kirk, I think. God, I really should have written that down. I was like, it's okay, you don't need to, you just know that. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I'm like, I know nothing and no one, and I don't know where I'm at or who this person on the line with me is. Sorry,
I don't even know who I am either. Paul gives me a different name for every single episode, and today's episode name is Anakin Sky Whatever, which is adorable on so many levels, especially if you know what Paul thinks about Star Wars.
Star stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I almost said Star Trek. That's how bad I am of this stuff. It's terrible. I should hand in my nerd card now.
Well, either way, that was all an elaborate ruse so that she could allow me to quickly Google and confirm it was Steve Kirk. So,
you're welcome.
The soundtrack's awesome. The soundtrack sounds like a town trying to remember what genre it lives in. It's like, I don't like that. It was a swing. It was a bit of a miss. It's like a I don't know. There's this hard-boiled edge to it, like a Twilight mystery with a crooked smile or something. There we go. I'm a little happier with that. It's so Steve Kirk himself, basically, I think he said it was Twin Peaks meets X-Files with a side of carnival dust or something like that. It's weird that dust has come up twice in descriptors for soundtracks here now, but but he basically was saying that it was Twin Peaks plus X-Files plus like a little bit of clown stuff going on. Like this is not a quote of his. I'm whatevering. But I just completely forgot that word. What's the word when you are not completely quoting somebody?
Paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing. Thank you. That's the stuff. the soundtrack is really cool because it's like, I don't know, to me it's like big hollow body Gretsch guitar, like a big jazz box sort of guitar with like a little bit of like I don't know, with like, I don't know, Fender twin reverb, Fender Bassman with a little bit of reverb on. Like, it just has this really, really rich, satisfying guitar tone that personally speaks to me, you know, outside of the soundtrack. Like, I love that whole vibe. It's unique for a soundtrack because it is very guitar heavy, like, you know, clean jazz box guitar. But it also, you know, it's just, it has that kind of hard boiled, from a different place and time sort of vibe to it. And
right.
Yeah, it's atmosphere kind of doing narrative work in a sense.
Baseline stuff, good baseline stuff.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there like it really is picking up some of the narrative for you and setting the tone. Like it does what a great soundtrack should do, which is encourages you towards feeling how the game wants you to feel. Like it just
right.
it sets you off on this proclivity towards finding whatever somebody said as suspicious and untrustworthy.
Exactly.
And so it does just a beautiful job with that, and it's really catchy and satisfying, and it's also impressive because, like, I really studied the soundtrack a lot when I did the Phantom Fellow soundtrack because I played Thimbleweed Park for 23 hours or so. And I just, I still can't get enough of the soundtrack. And it's not the longest soundtrack. Like, for example, in Phantom Fellows, each track is about 14 minutes long, whereas these tracks are like 3 minutes long. And you just never really get tired of them. Like, it's just...
My favorite is the one in the radio.
Right.
Ghetto Blaster. You know that. I could listen to that 1,000 times over because it's the earworm one. It gets stuck in your head and it just goes. And that's not the one you're going to make people listen to, though. I know that.
No, it's not. And thank you for saying that. I was going to forget to set us up to have played a clip. I'll play a clip in just a second. I was thinking about how much you love that song and how much I despise it, in the sense that it's almost a nice compliment to Steve Kirk, because it's like the one song I really don't like, the only song that I don't like, is Anna adores it. She loves it so hard.
I do. I really do. I kept playing it in the game over and over and over.
Yeah, anyway, okay, let's play, do I want to play one or two? I'm really torn between, okay, there's really...
This is Editing Paul from the future. Hi there, hello. There's no time to explain, but I decided to play a different track. This is called County.
That sounded like all the things I said it was going to sound like. And the end. Okay, what you got?
All right. I got, let's see, my next one is kind of a fun one. So in Quest for Glory 6, when you're in the part where there's like all the books in the library and the bookworm, there's a Black Widow there. And when you go up to the Black Widow, you will hear a very specific song. Now, I'm not going to play it yet because I just want to lead up to a few things. Because when you play it, it's like, it's kind of hip, it's kind of swinging, it's kind of cool. And if you keep listening to it, it sounds kind of almost like it could be in a Leisure Suit Larry game, which is funny because why would that be in a King's Quest 6 game? But a fun fact from... the internets is that there is the piece in Leisure Suit Larry 5 score that was never used. It's called Michelle Milken, and it just ended up being an outtake by Chris Brayman. So they ended up using that early stage cue in, and it ended up in the Larry 5 demo. It didn't end up even in the actual Larry 5 game, and it's a little bit more sexy. So, okay, I'm going to play for you the Black Widow version from King's Quest 6 now, and then I'll give a little break, and then I'm going to play for you the Leisure Suit 5 Larry demo so you can compare the two versions here.
And this is the Leisure Suit Larry version.
So yeah, as you can see, they are the exact same song, but with the little like woo woo. The demo one is just that much. I didn't want to risk trying to whistle on the thing. I'd be blowing into everybody's ears. They'd get mad at me. It would be a whole thing. I can whistle, just so you know. I'm not making that up. My kid can't. I told him if he can whistle, I would take him to get a beaver tail downtown. That's
Wow.
like a Canadian delicacy. That's like an elephant ear.
That's a lot less. That's a lot more appropriate than what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm going to take him down to get, some beaver tail. That's great. Either way, if he starts whistling, he can pick which one he wants. So I want to say thank you to Alistair. That's a fun fact from the Sierra Music and Memories group on Facebook. And I highly recommend joining that group if you haven't. It's a neat place to go and learn about the music behind a lot of our favorite games.
I just love how oddly, like, just such a weird Canadian, I guess, thing. You're like, when my son can whistle, we go get him a beaver tail. Like, it's clearly okay, right?
My favorite kind is just with lemon and sugar, but he likes the kind with Nutella.
I don't know what any. Yeah, okay.
You know Nutella.
I do, right?
Okay, and you know lemon.
Yes, I also
Sugar.
know beaver tails, so I don't know how this ties together because it doesn't.
They're all very tasty. Is the point? It's just deep fried goodness.
Okay, well,
You could call it a funnel cake. It tastes like a funnel cake, but not in the shape of a funnel.
do you remember back in the day? This is the perfect podcast to have a sentence start with that. Do you remember Fruitopia?
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys get the rumor of how like there was like actual beetles or like bugs or something?
Yeah, and it was carmine for like color or something, because those are made out of beetle shells.
Okay, so it was kind of true.
Yeah, it's in a
Cool.
lot of things, like in a lot of the candies you eat. They also use like shellac, which is the same kind of wax you'd use like on your board or on your door. It's food grade style.
I heard that rumor the same day I heard the Marilyn Manson rib.
The rib rumor.
Right,
Everybody
the rib
heard the rib rumor.
Yeah.
I was a worldwide rumor.
It was an internetless meme.
Yeah, it really was. And he said, I read his autobiography, by the way. He said it wasn't true. Doesn't mean he's not flexible.
Yeah, well, I don't have anything appropriate to say to that.
No,
But I have a lot
none
to
of
say
that
to
was
that.
appropriate. So you know what we should still have. If Brian, thank you by the way for your message about the Discord. It has been read. I've just had a busy couple of weeks and haven't had a chance to reply. But that would be a funny thing to add in the Discord, is the counter for how long it takes into an episode a sexual innuendo to come up,
Right.
and how many sexual innuendos end up in each episode. That would be funny.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's it. That's my choice.
So hold on, before we leave this beaver tail thing, isn't there an animal where like you get something delicious from its anal glands?
Yeah, I think it's beaver.
It's
too.
also beaver. Okay.
I think so. Yeah, it's a very delicious. It's in the natural
Like vanilla
flavors.
or something, like an artificial vanilla.
vanillin. I think something like that.
Really,
yeah.
thank you for not leaving me hanging on that one. By the
No,
way.
it's
That
a
would've been
real
rough.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I don't think you can extract it per se, but somebody can. If you tried, it might not taste as good.
It depends on how bad you want it, first of all.
Yes, true. It depends on how bad you want the beaver.
Yeah, I don't own enough flannel for that endeavor, but okay. The next one, am I mentally organized enough to move this into a different location? No. So the next one is Space Quest 3. Sorry, I wanted to give you guys a little more time in between Space Quest, but I don't think I can handle that. I'm already with the time codes and the music and things like this.
It's
so.
a lot. And by the way, I was going to edit this whole episode, but now Paul's just like, I'm just going to do it all. So this is what you've done this to yourself, Paul.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of witchcraft you used to get me to do that back there. Making it my idea and stuff. You're getting better at gaslighting. I got to give you that. It was good.
Thank you.
Sorry for putting you in a weird position where you had to say thank you to that gaslighting.
It's a talent. When you're not good at it and you don't know how to do it, it's talent.
Okay. Right, Space Quest 3. Sorry, guys. That was... I was trying to decide between several jokes, and we're just going with the facts here. Space Quest 3 is the next one on my list. I'm going to play 2 from Space Quest. See, now that I'm editing it, I'm not sure if I want to play more than one.
At first he's like, there's going to be 2 for each one of my choices, just so you know. And I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, see, that's when things got real dizzy and confusing for me, and then all of a sudden I was the one doing it. So
It's that voodoo.
okay, you know what? Fuck it. We're going all in. I'm gonna play. Well, first of all, let's just play the theme because this is. Speaking of MT32, so I do have one at home. Grateful enough to not only have one, but to have gotten it 10 years ago before it cost whatever it does now. And whenever I set this thing up in various different rooms, as I have through the years, this is the go-to test. You got to play Space Quest 3 theme song on your MT32 to see if it works. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, let's play it. Go play it now. So it's pretty good. I might have played the whole thing, but I probably didn't. But if I did, I don't know. Well, look, let's not guess what future me did back there. But you guys know. This is a weird moment in reality where you actually know something that I don't, that I did. So that could make sense if you want it to. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a really, really good theme. What I'm gonna also play. What do I want to do with this? Okay, I'm gonna play 2 more themes, which is insane, but we're gonna do that. Okay, first let's actually credit the composer, the musician behind the Space Quest 3 soundtrack, which is Bob Siebenberg. If that sounds familiar to you, it's because for some reason you know who the drummer to Supertramp is, because that's who he was. And here's some quick little fun facts. Why not? Sierra gave him a VHS tape of footage of the scenes, and that's what he was given to spot and score
amazing.
with. Yeah. So basically, his idea was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna score a little movie, which is how he treated it. So he said that he wanted his music to expand the size and dimension of the game. Which is a great goal to have for it, it's a good conceptualization of what to do musically, and I would say it absolutely did that, because the score feels big. It feels bigger than a lot of other adventure game scores do, in my opinion, especially comedy adventures. That's a difficult one to nail. He said that the main theme began as an idea for one of his solo projects, so I think we should all be grateful it made it into Space Quest 3 and not into because no offense, but those 80s musician solo projects, nobody listened to the Joe Perry project. Like, it's not, it would have never been heard. It would have just been lost on a cassette somewhere. So luckily, this very well written theme made it into Space Quest. And obviously this would go on to be the theme to Space Quest, you could say, right? I mean, is that fair? I should know that before saying that out loud. No,
I said it does ultimately run through. Like, there are shades of it throughout the series after that.
Yeah, okay. We'll take that. We'll take that. Okay, let me play next for you guys from Space Quest 3. So, okay, the theme is really fun, but in a sense, it's almost like, I don't know, candy. It's like, it sounds really good, but if we're talking about like a score, like what you get tucked into the game, and here's where you're actually spending time with the score. Like, the theme you just hear once, and it's bombastic and great and energizing and inviting and all the things that it should be. But when it comes to like actually playing the game and the atmosphere and environment that the music could potentially create, I want to demonstrate here through what is essentially just called, I think, garbage freighter. Like, it's not, they didn't spend a lot of time naming these, as we'll find out. But it's the Garbage Freighter theme from when you first gain control over Roger. That's just really good composing. It sounds, it sets this kind of like creepy, foreboding mood where you're not really sure, because you've kind of you've been collected up by this garbage freight spaceship that has mistaken you for garbage, and you're inside and you're walking around and you see just alien artifacts and rummaging through alien garbage, just like gigantic transformer looking masks and huge whatever those things were called. I think we said it last episode. I'm not doing good with remembering words for things right now, which is a great trait to have as a podcaster. Point is that you're in a very obviously alien landscape, and you feel like you're in danger, and that music encompasses that perfectly. It has like a little bit of mystery. It encourages you to explore, and it's also being a little bit eerie and creepy at the same time.
I like the fun of the Festerblatt's one when you're in a store. It's got this like funky. I've always been a fan of Festerblatt's, but it's the way they do this like bung bung, like I don't know. They like go into the sound like it's on a spring. It's all like tempo bending and stuff, right? But it's just that one store is just so, it's as quirky as the stuff that he has, the postcards in the back and whatever else he had, his skull and his random little bits and things.
And see, this is why we should do a podcast together, because that is the third thing that I have here to play was Fester's World of Wonders.
Oh, really?
Yeah, legit. Because it's so fun. It's so good. I was going to set it up by saying, for Anna's favorite word, this is like the earwig in the game. This is the one that's like, it's just, man, whether you want it to be or not, it's in your head. It's catchy. You're taking it home with you. I think it's great. I think it's really, really fun. Setting the visual scene, it's like you pull up to an alien novelty store at a tourist trap, and you're one of the, as you pull up, a family is hovering away in a Griswold style or the Phantom Truckster style vehicle, and you go in, you see Fester. He's got a bunch of alien nonsense for sale, and Fester himself is very loud, and you know he's got a big pot belly with a wife beater that's way too tight and just stains
Big
on
tourist flags. Remember those triangle flags? I think they even had one of those in there. The like I heart something or another. Everywhere you'd go, you'd collect flags, and then people would put it up on the walls in their offices. It was like a whole 80s thing.
Exactly. And fun fact, I've mentioned this one other time in one other episode, but a long time ago, my son, Strummer, really wanted to do like a .exe video. He was quite young. And so I made him this .exe of like Sonic.exe or whatever, and I accidentally made it way too scary to where he didn't even want to watch it anymore. Like, and it was him in it. Like he knew that Sonic doesn't appear because he was the actor, but it was like it still didn't matter on an irrational child level. It still scared the shit out of him when he watched it back. And anyway. To rescue that whole situation, I switched it from Sonic.exe to Fester.exe, which is on YouTube. If you really wanted to, y'all could search it up and find it. And it's young Strummer, and then all of a sudden Fester pops up and the music plays. And anyway, here's that music. That's Space Quest 3. I'm all done.
I'm listening to it, and I'm learning all about the volcanoes on Ortega. Let's go. Those little write-ups for the postcards were hilarious, though.
Yes.
Like you want to catch every single bit of text. You want to know all of it because it's just all so funny. Yeah,
exactly. You're savoring every moment.
So I wanted to go a little bit longer without repeating a series as well, but here we are talking about Quest for Glory again somehow. So this song that I'm going to play for you is probably, to me, the most iconic Quest for Glory song ever, and this is the original version of Arena's Peace by Mark Siebert from Quest for Glory 1 EGA. This is a song that means safety in the middle of danger. It is the only place in all of Spielberg outside of town that you can go and not only not get killed, but get revived. And, the mystery of who is Arena? Why did she have a meadow? This was the most popular song in the game soundtrack, and actually I was talking to Mark when I met him at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo FMV Museum last year, and he said out of all of the songs that he had written, this one got more mail than any other piece because it touched people's heart, and it's just got stuck in their head, and it's just such a pretty song. You've got magic fruit, and also recently it's gotten a little bit more attention. Lyrics were written for it by Roberta's brother, a friend of ours of the community. Roberta Bond had passed away, and he wrote lyrics to it, and it was performed by Mark Siebert and Mark Siebert's daughter and Debbie Siebert. Mark and Debbie Siebert, not their daughter, but that's okay. Point is, it's still getting life even now.
I really that's a really good shout. That's a good pick. Damn it, I'm back to saying good shouts again. I hate the me that says that. I really like the version of that in Quest for Glory, I think 4. I did play them quite close together. They're a little, they bleed into each other a little. But there's because they do that thing where they use a synth to mimic an electric 80s guitar. And it's just so ballady. Aubrey Hodges just kicked ass with that whole soundtrack. Really go out there and listen to the whole thing. It's worth it. Yeah. So I both versions are great, but I really do like the Aubrey's. I think I guess it was Aubrey's version. I'll take your word for it. That version, the ballad 80s guitar played through synthesizers version. So good. That would be it. But originally Mark Siebert, who is obviously the musical genius behind so many of our songs. Him and Ken Allen are like the godfathers of a lot of the music in our Sierra games. Like I got Ken Allen to sign my King's Quest 1 because he did the original sound for the King's Quest game. Yeah. Yeah. None of us would have been surprised if you had just said breast just then, just so you know. I did kind of think for a second you were going there. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I was years ago, the deal was to get the two Al's, one to sign each boob, Al Lowe and Al Euphrasio. It was Roberta's idea. I haven't gotten around to it yet, guys, but one day. All right. Well, I guess I'll go with my. Are you all done? I'm done talking about my boobs. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Fantastic. I wish my next pick was Larry, but it's not. It's the Neverhood. Okay. Yeah. I don't know this one, so I'm looking forward to hearing it. It might be the greatest soundtrack of all time. It's so good. It's so appropriate. It is. I don't know. It's very goofy on the surface, but it's like weirdly masterful. Mm-hmm. It's how else would you describe this? It's very handmade sounding and very. There's nothing else like it. There's just absolute. It's by Terry Scott Taylor. I was going through a little bit of on YouTube this morning, and the views on the soundtrack are insane. Like almost every song is close to 1 million. So it's you know. It's a well-known thing how good it is, I guess you could say. It's just, I don't know, it's like, how about this? It's fearlessly idiosyncratic. There's something fearless about this soundtrack. Like, man, when I was listening to it, I was just like, imagine having the balls to, like, send that, to be like, this is what we're going to do. And, like, he just hard commits to it. And I don't know, it's like something straight out of like a toy box or like a children's record that fell into a dream or I don't know. It's like whimsical, but it's also, it's just so deeply weird. And there's this one, like I remember doing some clips for this game for some episode we were doing. I don't remember what for a while ago, but the one track had this kind of a drum. And the pitch would bend higher and lower. And when I was a kid, we had a drum that had these strings around the outside, and you hold it under your arm and you tap the drum. And then as you squeezed it, it would go do 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 do. And you could, and there's the part of the song that I've been working with. It had that kind of a drum, and it was doing that thing, but in like an ambiance kind of a way, and it really stuck with me. Yeah, that helped me think of, I guess what I'm trying to say too with this specific score is like he it's called The Neverhood, right? And I guess for those who don't know, it's a claymation game. It's incredibly surreal. I mean, as claymation tends to be, right? There's just that uncanniness to it. And it's called The Neverhood, and you kind of awaken in this very strange clay land and essentially try to figure out who you are and where you came from and where you are. But even all putting that all aside and just remembering that it's called The Neverhood, this sounds like music from a different world. Like it doesn't sound, and it, to this day, like I've never heard anything like it. It just sounds, I mean, it's not like it's unimaginable. It's just a completely strange and I don't know, weird and wonderful take on music. And it almost makes you think like, God, like, where are we? Like, where does music like this really come from? And like, or I guess maybe I'm trying to say it makes you beg the question, like, oh, I guess this is what music sounds like here, huh? Like, it's just so slightly different, almost like in those film representations where you wake up in a different timeline and everything's just a little wrong. Like on the surface, if you were to almost, I don't know, you can't blur your hearing, but why not? If you could just kind of like
Fuzz it out a bit?
Yeah, fuzz it out. I don't know, put earmuffs on, whatever, like the prevailing melody or harmonies that you would hear don't sound unhuman or from another world, but it's like once you really listen to it, it's anyway. I think I said earlier, it's like goofy on the surface and then weirdly masterful underneath, and maybe that's that happening there. But let's play. Yeah, let's do it. Let's play let's play Clayman's theme now. Clayman's theme, it's like it's the subtlety. It's like the vocals underneath, and I'm not going to go on too long with this because I don't want to make Anna do a fake. It was that thing I didn't just hear because that's in editing.
Oh yeah.
But just it's the vocals. It's just like it's almost like that song is preparing you for the weirdness that's to come. And I didn't pick. It gets pretty weird, right? I didn't pick like the two weirdest, but I picked the two that still do a really good job of representing how fun it is to listen to. So let's do one more. We're going to listen now to the Clayman Shuffle. That's The Neverhood. It's by Terry Scott Taylor. You can still like support his music and stuff like that. So, I would recommend doing that and whatever else. I'm all done.
All right, my next selection is another song that has probably been in your head since the beginning, and it will be in your head until you die. And that is one I'm going to play for you now, the Monkey Island Scum Bar theme by Michael Land. So this one's fun, and in my research for it, I rediscovered a fact I had known about him. It's actually based on a much older folk tune called "Oh Good Ale, Thou Art My Darling." And it's pretty cool. It's just kind of like real in-world tavern music. So it's Michael Land was already kind of really, really messing with the limitations of the sound during the Monkey Island games. We've talked about it in previous episodes with the iMuse and all of that. So, yeah, it was more like the scene shaped the music very much. So it was again really, really well done environmentally. It's video game pirate music.
It is. It's swashbuckling.
Yep, slightly grubby, kind of rowdy, but very familiar.
Yeah, it's buoyant. That's another
Yes.
piratey sounding word. Because it is buoyant. It is cheerful. It is uplifting, oddly uplifting and theatrical. Very theatrical.
So I guess I should probably play the song that it's based on quickly, because just to give Paul a little bit more work, here it is. So this is "O Good Ale, Thou Art My Darling."
Looks very big with his high-cocked hat and his powdered wig. Methinks he looks both fair and fat, yet he...
Well, I'm sure glad I edited that in.
Aren't you, though? And that's it. That's my choice. My last two choices will be what would have been my extra special mentions, but because Paul was overeager, they are now my next two choices. So,
Wow,
carry on.
I don't appreciate these little jabs you keep getting in. All right, so the next one I have here is also Monkey Island.
You and I are so funny. We had every song soundtrack in the world to choose from. You know that.
We are being so us right now. I hate when I do that voice. And then I have to edit this too, which means I have to hear it and leave it in. And be like, man, it's such a poor choices made. Anyway, yeah, Secret of Monkey Island, because we don't talk ahead of time before
No,
these
we
things.
don't have a clue what the other person's picking.
That's why I was able to jump right in with swashbuckling. Didn't I sound oddly prepared for that? I'm
You
like, it's
really
buoyant,
did.
like water is. Yes, because...
Look behind you, a three-headed monkey.
Right, thank you. Yeah. That's good. Okay, so we don't give as much love to Monkey Island as everybody else does, right? It's kind of like the goated adventure game, and I've said it before, but sometimes I'll be talking to people, they'll ask what I do, and I'll say what I do, and if they look around my age, I might say, "Do you know Monkey Island?" Because that's the one they're gonna know. They never do. No, that's not true. More than you would think do, actually. But anyway, Michael Land I don't know. It's so good. It's such a masterful soundtrack. I feel like it belongs up there with the finest of cinematic soundtracks. It's I just saw the other day on like YouTube feed or something was street musicians in. It was so hard to say street just then. Street musicians. I'm like, get out there.
You can do this.
Yeah, make that fucking streety sound. And there were street musicians in France playing the theme, which was so cool. And luckily the person who happened to walk by knew at least to tag it online or whatever. But it's escaped the genre to a degree, the Monkey Island theme.
Like that accordionist. There's that guy that plays accordion that puts videos out on YouTube for the Monkey Island music. It's brilliant.
Yes, it's just like a really, really good song that happens to be in an adventure game, I guess is one way of thinking about it. Anyway, here it is, a Monkey Island theme by Michael Land. Sells the fantasy world, and it's charming and dangerous at the same time. It's mischievous. What else does it make me feel? It's very very Caribbean. Caribbean. How are we saying that?
I like Caribbean. That one's the
Caribbean.
cutest. Yeah, it's Caribbean. I don't know if they would appreciate it, but
Caribbean.
now it's British.
It is that. That is the soundtrack in a word, and it's I don't know. The musical timing is brilliant. It's again, it's very theatrical, but it's not like what is that risk? It's not pompous.
No, it's quirky and funny and fun and sweet, actually, and kind of endearing.
Yes, exactly. It's foundational to the game, to maybe LucasArts' entire atmosphere, really going forward from this point. And it's a good like come away with me kind of score. Like it takes you off into a strange piratey land, which is what it should do. I'm going to play one other selection from the soundtrack. This is called Following the Shopkeeper. Again, they didn't focus a lot of energy on names for these things, but because what are you doing in this scene? Well, funny, I ask me, you're following the shopkeeper. But I really like this, and again, kind of like how I wanted to play that freighter bit with Space Quest 3, I want to less show you the bombastic personality of Monkey Island as the theme captures, and more show you an excerpt of what you're spending time with in the game, because I think that this highlights the actual genius of Michael Land. It's in this scene. Actually, let's go ahead and play it. This is Following the Shopkeeper. So in this scene, again, you're following a shopkeeper, but you're being sneaky, and it just, man, like what he did was just like a synthesized upright bass, and gives you like this jazzy, sneaky little pulse to it. It's a really good example of what a good composer can do, and I really like the I don't know, I like working within constraints, I guess you could say. Anybody that likes pixel art probably does. And just, I picked this selection because there's a lot of constraints on it. There's only a few instruments. I mean, it's essentially like an upright bass doing most of the lifting. And it feels like what it should feel like. It makes you feel that you're being sneaky and that you can't get caught and that you're in this like nocturnal mischief mode. And it's just, that's the brilliance of what a good composer can do.
Good one. I like that.
Grazie. Your turn.
So I'm going to take a little bit of a turn away from my usual choices, because when I think of music that I like from a soundtrack, this song comes to me so often that I've ended up using it as a soundtrack on and off for the last 10 years, or sorry, a ringtone in my phone for the last 10 years. And that is the Guardia's Millennial Fair from Chrono Trigger by Yasunori Mitsuda. And I'm so sorry for anything I just did with that apology.
No, that was really legit.
Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, have a listen to this and don't tell me, because I already know it is one of the best songs out there. So, it was composed for part of the original score, but it was it's like, how do I phrase it? It's about curiosity and motion. There's possibility in that song. It's very playful and alive and carefree. And I don't know, it's a really good idea of Mitsuda's gift for immediacy, and being in time and place, I think. It's been re-released a couple of times. Even beyond the original from it. But the one that I come back to over and over again is the one from the Super Nintendo. So, yeah, play it on loop, make it your ringtone, make it your alarm clock for first thing in the morning, and listen to it over and over again, because it's amazing.
Make it your life. I like back to, because you were like, it shows their talent for, and then you said something, apt. apropos, if you will. And I just think it would be funny to be like, it shows their talent for, being able to play an instrument. Like if you if you just break it down to its basic, it shows that they could play instruments. That's for sure.
It's for sure, and it's like a musical thing.
Right, that's the word. Exactly. Yes, a musical thing. So, good. We're all learning stuff here today, I feel like. This is good. My next pick is Police Quest 2. I just made it through your whole thing and I don't know what you picked. What was it called?
Oh, it's the Millennial Fair theme from when you're in Guardia, which is one of the towns in Chrono Trigger. I don't know if you've ever played it. It's an RPG on Nintendo,
gross.
and you get
Okay.
to time travel,
Nope, I'm good.
and
You can
it's
stop there.
it's kind of adventure-like. You could call it
I regret
adventure-like.
asking.
There's also Chrono Cross, but there's a lot of chocobo racing, so
I don't know what that means at all. Like, I kind of want to know, too, but let's just leave it there. You're tempting me with-
chocobos are adorable, just so you know.
Jesus. Okay. My next pick here, because, Anna was right, though. I accidentally picked 6 after complaining for weeks that I only had 3.
Yeah, it's easy. You know what? Up until, like I said, 5 minutes before the episode, he's just like, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this.
See, who gaslights who, right? That's on me. I was like, I only have 3. I don't know what else to pick. And then I accidentally picked 6 because counting is hard for me. So did that sound like Christopher Walken? I can't do Christopher Walken, but I feel like that just sounded like it's hard for me. I
Accidentally?
shouldn't have tried
Yeah.
it again. Okay. Police Quest 2 is what I picked. And
Good
originally
call.
I was just going to pick the theme, but then I listened to a bit of the soundtrack today, and now I'm picking the whole thing. It's so good. This soundtrack sounds like a parody of 80s music. Like when I listen to it today, I'm like, you would think there's no way this is actually from 89. Like, this is how modern people would make fun of 1989. But no, it's, man, it's just so on the nose. And it's got that, like, night court crime vibe where, like, the heavy synthetic bass that they used in all those, like, late night crime shows back in the day. Like, it's got a lot of that. And it's so good. Okay, we gotta listen to it too. So first of all, here's the theme. Right? It's so good. It's so good. But because before the theme, I was just saying it's like late night crime shows. The other one I want to play for you is called, what is it called? It's called Airport. Again, with the name thing. So it's because you're at an airport is what's going on here. That's the story behind the name. And anyways, play that. So that's so... Okay, yeah, that's right. You didn't actually just hear it now. But man, Anna, if you could have heard it just now, what did you think?
Well, I love the airport scene also because of the in-jokes, but I just wanted to say I think Police Quest 2 is your influence. There's a scene in The Phantom Fellows where they go on the case and they're in the car, and it is literally like the beginning of the Police Quest 2, the Vengeance soundtrack, except like remade into like action for when you guys are in the car ride.
I'm so glad you said that. So I woke up this morning with that thought where I was like, because, we always have these subconscious systems that are secretly running the show for us. And every now and then we get a glimpse into what we're actually up to. And at least that's my experience down here. And it's just like, oh, so that's what I was up to back then. And that's the thought I woke up with. I'm like, I didn't realize how much influence specifically this Police Quest 2 theme had on that exact moment that you're talking about, Anna. I guess I should play that now? Damn it.
Yeah, just literally play it like right from there because it kicks right into that do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yes, exactly. Okay, here's that. don't know, maybe for anybody hearing it back to back, you could be like, how did you not know what you were doing there? But I didn't. I was reaching for a vibe, man. I wanted that vibe, and I didn't have it articulated exactly where it's from. Not that there was far to look, but alas. Anyway, it's an amazing soundtrack. It's by Mark Siebert, who we're so lucky that we got him and Hollywood didn't. I don't know if he would agree, but but man, he's like a literal genius. Compositionally speaking, and I'm very, very grateful that he was, at Sierra when he was. But this whole soundtrack is very, I don't know, it's like it's like, what's a great 80s way to put this on the spot? It's like danger seen through a fluorescent light. It's
Ooh,
it's neon danger or something.
Neon
80s
danger.
like that. Yeah.
I like that. Hell yeah. I want a shirt that looks like Neon Danger.
And it's like, I don't know, it's like a very cinematic soundtrack, but it's also kind of disciplined, which fits the Police Quest vibe, like just the procedural, tense, unglamorous kind of side of things. A lot of pressure, a lot of like a heist kind of vibe, like you're on a heist, I don't know. Yeah, just it puts a lot of pressure on you, the player, which is good, because you want to feel like every as playing a cop, you want to feel like every choice matters and
sitting at the edge of your seat feeling like you just really need to keep progressing forward. It's like right behind you chasing you, but it's there for you at the same time.
Right, exactly. There's a lot of like intent behind the music and the soundtrack. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah, great choice.
Thank you.
All right, well, my last choice is again outside of the usual genre because these were meant to be honorable mentions. But this is thanks to a suggestion from my friend Stieg, who reminded me how absolutely amazing the Goblins 3 soundtrack is. And this particular track is Goblin Spirit. Now have a listen to this one. So again, you've got your really mischievous, it's kind of naughty, it's kind of jazzy, it's kind of like Thiefy, Quest for Glory Thief vibe, like, when you've got that really cool bass line in the Thief Guild in Quest for Glory 4, where the thief was like a big, bug, he had been turned into an insect.
Yeah. I'm so excited I know that. Yeah.
You do. It's awesome. And you know what else this song takes me to is the song Popcorn. Now, this song was written in the 60s, and then they remade it for a Pampers. It was like this do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It was cute. Nice. Anyways, totally takes me there. But it was done by Charles Callett, and I don't know a lot of his other music, but it's really got this quirky comedy kind of sound going, but instead it ran on the YM3812/OPL2 ad-lib soundtrack. So it's got this very like synthetic orchestral sound, and it's really funky. It's not something like, it's not a game that I'd normally play, but I do like the Goblin series. I like the quirkiness and I like the sound, kind of like the Humans games, but the music in the Humans games was not quite as good as this.
That all sounded like an honorable mention that you were forced to stretch into a full answer.
That is definitely, I'm like, I would like to imagine more words happen here.
Well done. That was super fun. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, my last one, which was also, I guess, an honorable mention, but because of it doesn't matter. It's The Dig. Everyone, The Dig.
Hey, you've actually found a way to bring that one up pretty much every episode since we played it too, so it obviously has stuck with you.
Yeah, that's weird, right? Do I need to face the fact that I like The Dig more than I think I do?
You just have to dig a little deeper for it.
Okay. All right. You knuckleheads. Come on. That's what puns do to me. Just play the theme, me. This is Mission to the Asteroid. So Michael Land did this, and I'm glad it's on the list, actually, because it's unbelievably brilliant. And again, it's just one of those soundtracks to me that almost feels like it has no business being constrained to that of an adventure game. Like, it's so good that it could have easily been the score for Armageddon or whatever movie and been completely passable. It's so masterful. It's like you can hear from what we just played there that it just has this... I don't know. It makes you feel like you're staring out into not the darkness of space, more like, the pillars of creation type of staring into space. Just this vast, majestic, but also kind of lonely and quiet, I don't know, world. And it's awe-inspiring. There we go. That's what I'm trying to say. Hopefully, I might have played the clip too soon, but when you guys heard that thing back there, that's kind of the vibe there. It's to me, it's very just awe-inspiring, and I don't know. It's like injecting oxygen into what you're listening to. This is like almost a feeling of weightlessness, like I don't know. There's a divinity almost in it. I'm so close to saying what I want to say. Instead, I'm just gonna have to throw these abstractions at you guys and hope that one of them lands with any of you. But it's unbelievably emotional. It's pure architecture, musically speaking. And then here's a fun fact that I didn't know until today was that during production, LucasArts wanted Wagnerian, so Wagner wanted a Wagner-like feeling to it. So Michael Land built the score from his own writing plus hundreds of short samples from Wagner. Which, I don't know, according to whatever article it says, which helps explain why it feels so weighty and mythic, which I suppose it does. What's also interesting about that is that the Gabriel Knight 2 Beast Within soundtrack is also even more so heavily influenced by Wagner, and that's just a weird little thing that two hyper-popular adventure games from back in the day were so Wagner-centric. Or Wagner, if you want to sound North American about it, yeah. I'm all done.
Quick shout out to the Loom soundtrack.
Oh, yeah, good one. Good shout, yeah. That's Tchaikovsky.
What is your favorite sound or song
I
from
just
a
told
game?
you. Okay, right. That's for
No,
them.
not them. Yeah. Although, you know what? It would be fun to talk about our favorite sound effects. Hey, you guys want a great idea? Jamie from the Classic Gamers Guild would have these posts on Facebook talking about ringtones. And I would have to say the best notification chime I have found out there is the points chime from King's Quest VI, because every time you get a text or a notification, it feels like you've accomplished something, and it's that little doo-doo-doo, that little chime. So satisfying. Definitely. It's on like Zedge or whatever. Just Google it, pop it in there. You will be so happy that you did.
Speaking of ringtones, real quick, I should say, since this was on this episode, the Police Quest 2 theme song I once gave to my ex, and that was a mistake because it slowly started ruining the theme.
Aww.
But it was also
like,
kind
no,
of funny if you
want
have like an I think I might be having a stroke. An authoritarian.
Right.
Right. You know,
Yes.
so you're setting that vibe.
do
It's like,
that.
oh shit, fucking, they're calling, so.
No, it's true. I do Baba Yaga's theme for spam calls. So I'm like, it warns you not to pick up. And I do the barn music from when you're working in the stable in Quest for Glory 1 as my alarm clock. I also have the Shima's dancing music from Quest for Glory 2 from listener and as well as true believer tier Christopher on our Patreon. He sent me some music from Quest for Glory 2. So all my favorite people, that way I put in the songs that I like from the games.
Wow, that's, yeah. You've got a lot. We could almost do an episode on this. It seems
Imagine.
Well, all right, I'll add on one more, and then we'll actually end the show. Because I did
Okay.
have an eighth one, honorable mention, that I abandoned, which was going to be Blade Runner. Forget about that. Doesn't matter. But what I do want to say is that the Blade Runner Blues, which is in the game and the movie, is my alarm clock. And it's a really good alarm clock because it eases you into it. Anybody out there who can immediately hear that song when I said it, which is some of you, I know a geek out there probably heard it. it really like it fades in, so it's a good little alarm clock, and it has this kind of like all feeling to it, like a sun rising. I don't know. It works, and then it goes full noir. Like it just hits you with this like, and so every day I just wake up with this weird like hard boiled time for the day. It was somewhere around midnight when she walked in the door. Like it just like it makes me feel like I'm gonna wake up and pull the curtain back and it'll be raining in nighttime, which it never is because that's not how waking up works, but it's a really good alarm clock. So
It's beautiful. All right, well, thanks for listening, and thank you to our Patreoners for reminding us that people really actually do care and want to listen to this stuff and enjoy listening to it, and it really helps us out and keeping it going. So thank you very much to Mark, Brian, Mick, Tim, Gareth, Chapman, Christopher, and Yanis, and everybody else who's joined our Patreon club. Thank you so much to all of you. I also want to tell you that you can download the Phantom Fellows. Did you hear? It's a game that we made, and it is out on Steam and GOG and all sorts of other places. And I'm going to say this on the air. At some point, Paul and I are actually going to do an official playthrough of the full Phantom Fellows game so that you can find that on YouTube, because right now there's only short form walkthroughs, and whatever we put together would obviously be a lot more intricate and side roady, because that's how we do things.
Yeah, if you like the director's commentary kind of thing, that's what we're aiming for with this walkthrough that we are going to do. You'll see. We'll see.
You'll all see.
A momentary hijacking this to also just shout out to Arthur Craven for just a really, really kind message that is... I might not ever forget it. It was really, really cool. So thank you for that, and to anybody and everybody who has written to us and you know, with any sort of sentiments as far as... you know, I don't know, us doing the show. It's just, it means a lot. It motivates us, and I appreciate it. So thank you to Arthur.
And yeah, that's it. Find us on Facebook. We're a page. We're a group. You can send us an email at don'tdoamurder@gmail.com. We are also on Twitter and Mastodon and Blue Sky and Instagram, and generally on Google. You can ask your speaker. You can ask your thing. You can stream us anywhere you like. And I think that's all I have.
Don't do a murder.
Don't tell me, because I already know it is one of the best songs out there.
Just killing me inside that I can't make Japanese noises right now. Okay, that was just for us.
So yeah, it was composed for part of the original score, but it was